Hi, I'm Joel Kelling, Regional Facilitator for the Middle East, based in Amman, Jordan, in the Diocese of Jerusalem. Safe migration is an important issue across the whole of the Middle East and takes a variety of forms, from internally displaced people to refugees to people who migrate for educational or economic reasons. In the majority of these situations, migrants, whether on the move involuntarily or through choice, are vulnerable to poverty and exploitation. Whilst the Anglican Church has and continues to engage in relief efforts, particularly in the refugee communities in Jordan, I'd like to highlight the developing work against human trafficking and modern slavery in the province of Jerusalem and the Middle East. The Middle East is a place of arrival for millions of migrant workers from around the world in search of economic benefits and new opportunities. As Archbishop Michael Lewis has previously emphasised, the majority of people in the Diocese of Cyprus and the Gulf are migrants themselves, whether in retirement or in employment, including the majority of the clergy. However, many migrants are at risk of and become victims of human trafficking and modern slavery, whether that's into domestic work in the Levant or construction work in the Gulf. Sometimes this exploitation is carried out by traffickers in migrants' home countries, sometimes by employers in the place of arrival. I care about increasing safety in migration because it's about perceiving all peoples as made in the image and likeness of God, and because as a global communion we are able to engage in activities which will make a material difference in the people's lives. The Anglican Alliance's focus on safe migration in the Middle East began in early 2019, with a workshop held amongst the Women's Ministry of the Diocese of Jerusalem. There, we explored the issue of domestic exploitation and the specific vulnerabilities that displacement exacerbates, particularly around child marriage. In 2020, just prior to the global lockdowns enforced due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we hosted a regional safe migration consultation in Dubai, with Anglican clergy and lay people from around the Gulf. We were joined by Anglicans from Africa, South and East Asia, and ecumenical partners from the Middle East, including the Salvation Army and the Mission to Seafarers, meaning we had participants from both the sending and receiving countries, and were able to see the whole picture of migration. This is one of the things that we can do as the Anglican Alliance, connecting people from across the whole of the communion. A lasting impact of that consultation has been the development of an active and growing community of practice. Participants from the consultation have now been joined by Anglican leaders, including the Archdeacon in the Gulf, as well as the General Secretary to Kappa. To my mind, this has been the greatest outcome so far from the consultation. Not only that knowledge and understanding around the issue has been increased in the region, but also that relationships both with other churches in the Gulf and with Anglicans elsewhere in the communion have been formed and continue to grow. Over the past year, we've also continued to work alongside 58, the developers of the Just Good Work app. This groundbreaking tool provides reliable offline information on what to expect when looking for work, arriving, and completing contracts in a number of Gulf countries. Whilst we work to share awareness of the app, we're also partnering to make it available in more languages for more departure and arrival countries, so that it can be a tool that effectively prepares potential migrant workers for what is suspicious, what is legal, and how to get help when in difficulty. Recently, we've begun focusing on the African Gulf migratory journey, and we hope to host joint webinars between the Church in the Gulf and across a number of the African provinces to better inform the Church of the possibilities and dangers of ill-considered and uninformed migration. This model of inter-regional fellowship, sharing and collaboration is a real strength of the Anglican Alliance, and I'm hopeful that through it, more prevention of human trafficking is able to take place. It is a privilege and a joy to share in this developing work with my sisters and brothers in Christ across the communion.